Hello folks, my name is Jason and this is my daily vlog called Living with CMT. I hope you enjoy. Good evening folks, it's Sunday evening and it's 6:45. I've got a movie review coming up for you, another Bruce Willis film actually, called Setup. Now when I say it's a Bruce Willis film, what I mean is he's in it. It's not really his film, it's more starring Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent. Basically it's a film about three blokes, three men should I say, a coloured guy and two white guys who were friends and they've been friends for a while, and they decide to pull off a jewel heist, diamonds. Anyway, it turns out that one of the white guys is double crossing them and he leaves them both for dead. He kills one of them but he leaves Curtis Jackson for dead, thinking, you know, he shot him so he's fine. The bullet's actually deflected off a metal cross he's wearing and gone through his collarbone, so he ends up surviving, and then he decides to get revenge by going after the guy because, you know, basically he shot him and left him for dead and he's supposed to be his mate. Anyway, add into the mix Bruce Willis, who happens to be basically like a mafia boss who decides that he's going to get involved in it, and also a hitman that the people who they've stolen the jewels off send to retrieve the jewels, basically, and also some other unsavoury characters, bits and bobs, and one of the best accidental deaths I've ever seen in my life. I'll just say that, I won't tell you what happens, but one of the best accidental deaths you'll ever see in your life, and it adds up to not a bad film. It's a good pacey thriller again, another good action thriller. Story's a bit stretched, you know, but the characters are okay in it. It leans a bit too much on the God will save all and all that sort of stuff, but luckily it doesn't go down that road. You think it's going to, but it doesn't, luckily, because what I won't watch a film where, you know, God seems to save everybody and he'll put everybody right, because that isn't, no offence, but that's not my personal beliefs anyway. Sorry, I've just been eating a bag of dry roasted peanuts. I do apologise. Yeah. So I'd give it 5 out of 10. Like I say, it's a good film. Bruce Willis is in it, but he's not really in it. He's only in it for about 15 minutes, I would say, altogether. It's mainly Curtis Jackson and the guy who plays Vince, who's the one who's double-crossed him. I can't remember his name. No, I can't remember it. I can't. I've just been trying to remember it, but I can't. Anyway, like I say, 5 out of 10, and the film is called Setup. And it's on Netflix. Sorry, it's on Netflix. So last night, I did not sleep very good at all. I was tossing and turning, lying on my back, and then on my side, then on the other side. Now, as anybody knows who's got a bad back, that is not good for your back whatsoever. And I woke up in a lot of pain, The fact that it was absolutely roasting last night, I don't know why, but for some reason our house was really warm last night, even though it was blowing quite bad outside. Yeah, Deb didn't sleep too good either, so when I got up this morning, I set my alarm for 9. I didn't get up till 10. Anyway, I've had my meds and what have you, and today, like I said, I haven't done a lot at all, not much at all. I've just done pointless surveys, surfing, looking for football scores. I'm just about to go try out my new Lego game, which I won't be doing on cam. I was going to, but I'm not going to, just in case it's not a very good game or I have problems with it, so I'll wait until it's up and running and then do a little bit of filming, I think. Like I said, not much has happened today at all. I've sort of kept myself just awake, if you like, until I think I managed till, what was it, 4 o'clock? Yeah, 4 o'clock, 5 to 4, and then I just was dropping off sleep, so I've had 2 hours. I still don't feel 100%. Like I said, I'm still very, very tired. Deb thinks it's the vitamin D thing. I'm beginning to think she's right, actually, because I'm not normally like this in the daytime as such. You know, well, yes, I have my sleep, but I'm not normally feeling this tired all the time. So I think the vitamin D is playing me up. I'm just about to have a whiskey and coke as well, because obviously it's St. Patrick's Day, so happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. Hope you have a great time if you're having a party, and if you're not, just happy St. Patrick's Day, really. I've not got much planned for this week. Tomorrow we're hoping to go downtown, because we haven't been out for nearly 2 weeks because the weather's been horrendous. It's either been really, really, really cold, or it's been blowing a gale and it's been throwing it down with rain. So we've not been out, so we need to go out, and we're going to go out tomorrow. Oh, the other thing we've done today is a little bit of housework. Anyway, the next little section is talking about football, and I've decided I'm going to pause and restart, so that if you want to skip the next section you can, because not everybody's into football. Jeffrey might want to watch this, but Hi Jeff, how are you doing? Are you alright? I hope so. Anyway, fantastic result for Everton, beating Chelsea. I didn't see that coming. Apparently at half time, neither did the pundits. But brilliant result for them, absolutely fantastic. It's what they needed after losing 3-2 to Newcastle. It was a fantastic result. I hope they can win a few more games, you know. I mean, I know obviously they've got no chance of going down, but it would be nice to see them finish in the top, 8 or 9 maybe. You know, it would be nice. I'd like to see Everton there. I thought Liverpool were going to chuck it away today. When I went upstairs for a lie down, they were 1-0 up, but Fulham were pressing. And obviously, I know that Fulham equalised through a mess from the goalkeeper and the defender. Babel scored, which is very ironic because he used to play for Liverpool. But we got the winner. Milner got the winner. I'm not going to bitch about football, but I will say one thing. I posted something on Facebook last night, and it was basically, I said, I wonder how many match officials have got money on Man City to win the quadruple, because I am getting fed up and sick of seeing all their either easy cup draws, which they are getting completely easy, or they're getting decisions go against them that they would not get in a million years. I mean, yesterday they had 2 goals that should not have been allowed, one for offside and one that wasn't a penalty. You know, so I just don't understand. I'm sorry, but I know people might say I'm sour grapes and that, but Liverpool weren't even in it. And I think who's it were all done by. I really do think Swansea were all done by. They got ripped off by terrible decisions. And I think Man City get away with murder with things like that. I don't think they'll get away with so much next year when VAR comes into it. Mind you, Liverpool won't get as many penalties, come to that. But yeah, at least today's was the definite penalty. You know, there was no arguing about that. Rico brought Mane down, and it was a penalty. And congratulations to, again, Sadio Mane. God, he can't stop scoring at the moment. I think Man City, I'm hoping Tottenham knock Man City out the cup, out the Champions League. I can't see it, don't get me wrong, but I'm hoping they do. Now, I don't support Tottenham, but I'm starting to dislike Man City like I used to dislike Chelsea years ago, because all they keep doing is just like loads and loads. Because obviously, when a football club gets taken over by a billionaire who can just invest money, and just keep buying everything, hint at everything, then I can see a bit of corruption going on. I really can. And I reckon one day it will all come out that corruption has been going on in Premier League football clubs for years, mate. I'll tell you that now. I reckon there's been more backhanders than Parliament, I'll tell you that. And that's not sour grapes, like I said. Liverpool have got some tough games coming up. We've still got some tough games coming up. We're 2 points clear of Man City, who've obviously got a game in hand, which is fair enough. And that game in hand just happens to be away to Fulham, which I think's hilarious because that's who we've just played. But we'll see what happens. 2 points clear, not bad. I can live with that. Well, it's going to be, I think, one of them weeks weather-wise, because we've got good weather and bad weather, and obviously CMT fellow sufferers. You know what I'm talking about. Now, when I was speaking yesterday, I told you about when I was diagnosed with HMSN, and if you haven't watched my earlier videos, you won't know, but when I was young, I used to fall over a lot, going up to the age of 14, 15, 16. I was always on my backside, always falling over. I couldn't keep my balance, and I decided when I was 14, 15, I couldn't take no more, so I decided I didn't want to be here no more, so I decided to end it. Unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you look at it, I didn't go ahead with it, I didn't go through with it, but because of things that were happening with me, I got referred to a specialist unit called Wall Lane House, which was in the grounds of St Edward's. Is it St Edward's? I think it's St Edward's. St Edward's, what they used to call a mental hospital, but it isn't now. But it used to be in the grounds of St Edward's in Leek, and I spent a lot of time there, and I saw people there who got problems which made mine look trivial, completely trivial, and it woke me up a bit. But because I was always falling over and everything, even when I was there, they had me in hospital for a week of tests, and they did absolutely everything to me. I had everything that could be taken from me. I had tubes put everywhere you could put a tube. I had tests, ECGs, EEGs, I had the lot, mate, right? And in the end, they obviously found out what was wrong, and they told my mum. Now, my mum has never been completely up on medical terms, so she wouldn't have had a clue what they told her. Anyway, I didn't know about this because I was 16 at the time, so of course they weren't going to tell me. Now, apparently they told me mum I had this possible condition thing when I was 16, but 7 years later, when I was 23, was when I was diagnosed with it. And I was only diagnosed because my mum had gone in for tests, and she'd basically had tests. They looked at the results and said that they wanted us to have tests as well, all us kids, me, Mandy and Paula, my two sisters. So we all had tests and we all proved positive for hereditary let me put my teeth in. Hereditary motor sensory neuropathy. Now, I don't know how you all found out about it. I don't know whether your parents referred you. I don't know whether your doctors or your specialists or anything. When I first got diagnosed, I hardly had anything wrong with me, to be honest with you. I just kept falling over, that was all. My balance was fine. It's just that every so often my legs would give way. You know, I was okay. I didn't need a stick. I didn't need a walking help. I didn't need anything. I could just walk down the street or run down the street. It didn't matter. And obviously, when I got diagnosed with it, my work, suddenly, once they noticed I've got this condition, once they found out I've got this condition, I'd been there for nearly 2 years, they started noticing mistakes in my work that weren't there before. And what they did craftily, before I'd been there for 2 years, one day before I'd been there for 2 years, they got rid of me so they wouldn't have to pay me redundancy. Now, of course, I fell to pieces at this because all of a sudden I'd got no job. I was living at my auntie's at the time because I'd fell out with my mum. And I didn't know which way to turn. So anyway, I moved in with my auntie and I got in touch with the social, and the social had said because I'd been sacked, I had to wait 26 weeks before I could have any money, because back then if you got sacked you had to wait before you could claim any benefits. And I was stuck then because I had no money coming in whatsoever. Now luckily my auntie, who was a saint, you know, my auntie Pauline was an absolute saint. She said to me I could live with it and I didn't have to worry about it until I could apply for benefits. So anyway, once I got in touch with the social and they found out I'd got this condition, all of a sudden they went from having no money to offering me money every few days. They were saying, oh, you're entitled to this, you're entitled to this, because you've got this disability, you're entitled to this, you can apply for this. So I went from having no money to having more money than when I was working. And it just went to show you exactly how they looked at you. If you had something wrong with you back then all of a sudden they'd throw money at you. If you didn't have something money, then you would have to basically live on the street, and they didn't care. Anyway, one of these medicals I went for, they told me I'd got to be 80% disabled, and I said, well, I'm not 80% disabled, so what's the point of sending me? Anyway, they sent me, and I went through all this rigmarole. I had to do a physical examination by this woman. She had me, you know, stripped down to the waist and all that, and did all this physical stuff and what have you. And then when she'd finished examining me, she told me I could put my top back on. Anyway, she went back out to talk with my auntie to talk to her. And now when I used to put my top on, all the bones in my spine and my back and my shoulders used to crack at the same time, so it sounded like a pan of bacon. And the woman heard it, and she said to me, auntie, what was that noise? She said, that's him, that's the noise his body makes when he puts on a t-shirt or something. Anyway, she come back in, re-examined me, filled in the forms, and I waited. And about a week later, I got a letter off them telling me that yes, I was entitled to this extra money, but there was no point me having it because it was less than what I was already on. Well, that flummoxed me completely, because I was like, well, why send me for the medical in the first place? So that just goes to show you exactly how pointless some of these medicals are. Now, since that, I've had to fight tooth and nail to get this ability to start with. I had to fight for it. After I'd been given it first, I didn't even have anything wrong with me the first time they gave it me. They basically just said, right, you're entitled to this money, fill in this form. I filled it in, I sent it in. Within a week, yes, you've got your money, job done. Now, ever since, every time it's come up for renewal, I've had to fight tooth and nail just to get the same money that they put me on in the first place. So whether they think this degenerative nerve wasting, muscle wasting condition can get better, I have no idea, because obviously that's something they must know that I don't. At the moment, I'm in the process of trying to get my mobility component back again, because they knocked me down to low mobility last time I did my PIP entry, because they said that I'm able to go anywhere I want without sticks, without aid, anybody with me at all. I can go wherever I want. Well, I know that that's complete garbage. My doctor knows that that's complete garbage, and my specialist knows that that's complete garbage, because I can't go anywhere on my own. I'll be honest, I cannot go anywhere on my own. There's 3 reasons. 1, insecurity. I do not like going anywhere on my own because I think people are staring at me, and I get really, really paranoid and stressed out. 2, my balance, which is absolutely shocking at the best of times, and I'm always, even though I've got my stick and my calipers, I am always linked arms with my wife. I always do. You know, I cannot not link arms with her. And 3 is other than the CMT, the other things I've got wrong with me can make me fall asleep at the slightest thing. I mean, I can fall asleep while sitting having a coffee. I've even been known to start drowsing while I'm walking around town. And obviously, that isn't something you want to do when you're out on your own, because if I'm walking and I start dropping off and I'm going across a road, you know, I mean, do the maths. It doesn't take much to work out what could happen. But they don't seem to be bothered about that. They don't seem to care about that. They seem to think that if they can get you off a benefit, they'll get you off it, even if you're entitled to it. So anyway, I've decided fight for me high mobility because they put me on high care, and that's fair enough. I didn't think they would actually. I thought they'd put me on the low care because I know how strict they can be and stuff, and I thought they would have took one look at me and gone, oh no, he's fine. Because when I went in for the medical, I was clean shaven and I was smartly dressed, which went against me, believe it or not. It did go against me because I looked like I could take care of myself. It went against me, that did. And the other thing that went against me, which I never realised, I went in with my stick, which I had to have at the time, only because I wasn't asking my wife every 2 minutes to help me with everything. Apparently that showed that I could manage on my own. I didn't need any help at all. Now that shows that you are trying to live a normal life without being dependent on people all the time. It's called having a bit of pride, you know, having a bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? Self-belief, really, that you can do things, that you want to try and do things. But to have that go against you at a medical is a massive, massive blow, I'll tell you that now. And like I said, I'll put in now for my mobility, and whether I get it or not, I'll let you know. But you know, I know some other people who are putting in for their PIP, and they're dreading it as well, and they're asking me for advice left, right and centre. And I'm like, look, at the end of the day, when you go in for these medicals, you've got to remember that when you have your very, very, very worst day, you've got to go in with that day in mind. You've got to. So when they ask you the questions, you can't say, oh well, I'm okay today, but I don't know what I'll be like tomorrow. You've got to go in and tell them about your worst possible day. I'll tell you that now. And if I said my worst possible day, it would basically be I could not get out of bed in the morning. If my back is really, really bad and my CMT is playing me up that bad, one, I can't feel my legs, and two, my spine's that bad that I just have to lie flat in bed. There's nothing I can do about it. I've tried getting up a few times when I've done that, and I've just ended up causing myself even more pain, and I've ended up in tears, which, you know, I don't really want to do on a daily basis, which is why I have to take it easy. You know, doing simple things like, as you can relate to, you people who are watching this, you'll be able to relate to the fact that even just doing something simple like, sorry, putting a load of washing in, and that can tire you out. You know, just putting some washing in a washing machine, and you're like, you can't breathe. Going up and downstairs a couple of times just to say go to the bathroom, because obviously my bathroom's upstairs. If I go up the bathroom sometimes and then come back down, I'm out of breath, I can't breathe. It's like, oh God, yeah, and the fatigue hits you, and then you're stumped. But what can you do? Like I say, it's one of them things. We've all got different things, symptoms, but we've all got CMT. So, I don't know. Anyway, on that note, I shall get off my soapbox, and I shall speak to you all tomorrow. You all take care, and have a good Sunday night. I hope you enjoy what you've just seen and heard, and if you do, you can subscribe by clicking down that bottom corner there. And if you want to see what I was up to yesterday, you can click up the top corner there. Thank you for watching again, and I'll do another video tomorrow. Bye for now.